the wires on the right side. There's like 3 sets of wires coming into it. I snipped the ones on the right side, snipped the ones in the middle, snipped the ones on the left, and it like sparked and blew the breaker. Somehow it's like for the life of me, I have no idea. It's tied to that left side somehow.
Yeah, they've got something that's touching somewhere across somewhere. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, whenever I get everything wired back up, and put in place, I turn on the left side and then plug it into the right side. Of course, nothing works. Then I have to turn the breaker onto the right side for it to work. But somewhere in there's a hot lead from the left side over to the right, and I've never I don't know. I just thought I cut the breaker and there's no power. I'm good to go. Scared the bejesus out of me when I snipped through them things.
I bet if you put a meter on it with the breaker off on that one side, I bet if you put a meter on it, you'll see there's a low draw on there. I bet.
Yeah. Well, it's all fixed now, so
Power is so tough.
All right,
so y'all really trying to disappoint your audience after such a lovely lady last week and then my ugly self this week. What the hell?
Yeah. It's 6:01, Chris.
Oh, we're live. We've been live when you was talking. Yeah.
I thought you was waiting on the going to do the intro.
No, we went ahead and I just went ahead and clicked it. I mean, we can do an intro here. We'll do an intro. Everybody,
no, it's all good. We're all in here now. What's the point?
It's weird to look back there. Part of the table almost be clean. That's weird.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't dropping the F-bomb like I was earlier backstage.
Whatever. Well, welcome to the show, everyone. We just we did things a little different tonight. We just hit the live button. See, Eric, somebody commented up here, said, don't forget to hit the live button. Eric did. And about the time he said that, a few minutes later, I hit it when you were still talking. But Eric said he called eBay today and complained about a store not performing right. All of a sudden, he got 10 sales.
Eric, you should have told him my store too sucks.
Right? Leroy said he retired.
Yeah, I retired.
He said they broke up. I mean, eBay broke up.
Maybe on your store, Scott, maybe people are buying Christmas presents, so they're not buying that discontinued shampoo they love so much,
Yeah.
I can get them buy one, get one free big girl panties right now.
Yeah, Ping had a good set. Looks like it. What does it say? It says, had an offer, made a counter to meet in the middle, received a counter offer for $2 more, accepted. 95 is 95. That's right. I had whatnot today. I sold a bunch of garbage pail cards and some ET cards and TC. I appreciate you today and the whatnot show. And there's a couple others that was there too and helped support me. So we did that. But as far as eBay goes, we didn't have nothing. I haven't had a sale yet on eBay today, but I did have an eBay conversation with eBay today. So apparently, unbeknownst to me, I did not know this could happen. With returns, apparently you can, as a top rated plus seller, you can apparently use that button that says deduct original shipping costs from the refund. Apparently you can use it too much and they take the button away from you where you can't use it no more. But I was told that if an item is returned for remorse reasons, the button will show back up. I don't know how that works, but I was kind of perturbed about that because I use that for restocking fee. Always have, and now it's gone. Can't do that no more.
So the problem with eBay is they believe the customer too much. The customer will lie to get a reason to come back and not tell you the truth.
Right.
And in no other where, I mean, I realize it's their platform; they can do what they want to. But anywhere else, the merchant is allowed to set the terms. And when I set the terms, you should not be messing with me.
Yeah. No, I told her, I said, so now what you're telling me is that because see, they tried the first person I talked to, he frustrated me so bad. I just finally just said, look, I just want to talk to somebody else. Well, when I asked that, he was like, well, I don't know what department you want. I says, well, we'll just start with your supervisor. How about that? We'll go to that department. So but he tried telling me that that I can deduct it from the deduction part because you can deduct up to 50% of the item. Well, that's okay, but they want you to report the buyer for either items damaged or been used, or they give you 4 options. You have to fill out one of those 4 options to do the deduction. And I'm like, but I don't want to report the buyer for anything. I just want to be able to hit my button. I could,
Yeah, because my good one was I had a sewing machine, and the lady, it was one of these fancy sewing machines that did the embroidery and the computer had a computer slot in it, and you can buy an accessory, an embroidery arm that fits on it to do quilts and other stuff. I sold that separate. You know, it had its own case. I sold it separate because it was worth $125 by itself. So I'm like, I'm gonna separate these. Well, she
wow.
thought she was getting that in there, and she said I was looking for other pieces to come with this. I'm like, ma'am, there's no pictures or anything else. You got everything in the pictures, the sewing machine, everything is in that. And so she said she opened the return, missing pieces. She tells me it's not things in it that she's looking for, but she tells eBay it's missed. So I can't deduct the shipping back because she's made eBay think it's my fault.
Well, couldn't you now on that one right there, couldn't you when you do the deduction part where you can edit the deduction on the refund, you put is there an option for I don't even think you could do that. No, there's not an option.
So the case that was on it got broken shipping, so I was able to do the deduction because she broke the case. And so I did the cost of a new case plus the cost of shipping, and I put in the comments,
Oh yeah, item was damaged. Yeah, that's one of the options. Yeah,
item was damaged, and customer misstated the reason why for her return, and that's why there's an extra this deducted for it. I put all that in there, so if eBay ever looks at it.
Well, see, I'd always use that option for a restocking fee. The shipping, being able to deduct the shipping. I just used that for the original shipping. I just used that for a restocking fee because there's other YouTubers out there that tell you to do that for a restocking fee. So that's what I did. But now,
so I don't think it's just that you use that button anymore. I think they've taken it away from everybody. Everybody I know, if they say that it's item arrived damaged or whatever it is, not as described, I don't think that you can take the original ship. I don't think anybody can do it anymore.
Yeah,
I know 3 people that can't.
Yeah, she said that if it's an item not as described, and she gave me the scenarios that they use that falls under that category, I guess, that you can't use that button for anymore. But she says if it's under the remorse category, because apparently there are 2 different categories. They have them in categories. So if they fill out, and I got a Woolrich shirt coming back. The pictures had measurements in it. The description had measurements in it. The condition of the shirt had measurements in it. Everything had measurements in it. And the customer returned it, said doesn't fit. But in his comments, he also said it's just a bad fit for me or something like that. Well, she looked at that because I was like, well, what do I do about this one on return shipping since I've lost the button? She goes, oh, that falls under remorse. Your button will be there when the item comes back because it falls under remorse return. She says, and the reason it falls under remorse is because you have the measurements and everything in the description and pictures and all. And I was like, oh, okay. So I guess, they changing things and not telling people.
I got a good one. I had a guy. Yeah. He bought a vintage Craftsman socket ratchet, and he says to me, it doesn't work well. I want a refund. Okay. In his description of what it doesn't work well, he took it apart to show me that it didn't work well inside. Well, I know what he did. I know what he was trying to do, but I messaged eBay and said, hey, I can't even resell this. This guy took it apart. Look at the pictures that he sent back to me. So I was able to get the money back. Because he opened it up. He opened it up and showed the gears inside, and the gears were messed up. And I told eBay, I said, I can't even sell it anymore because the guy took it apart. Look at the pictures. So I was able to get my money back, and I think it was a negative, and I got the negative removed.
Brad, you look like you had something to say about that.
No, I was yawning.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
tired. I just realized how tired I am.
That's his face from being shocked today.
Yeah. I had a near death experience, Chris. I don't know what you're expecting from me tonight.
Oh, what kind of near-death experience did you have?
He just told you. You
I
don't
just
know.
told you the whole story. I cut through those electrical wires.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I saw Jesus.
He doesn't listen to us, Scott.
You didn't go to the light, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, so actually, as soon as it happened, Scott, the light went out. The light that was hooked up to that other breaker, it is.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, electricity. You got to be, and especially if you're like me, I'll tinker around with some of the stuff here to see if I can get it to work. Yeah, every now and then I mess with something live, and it's not the smartest thing.
Everybody wires different. Everybody wires stuff differently. That's what the issue is with electricity. Is people try to make shortcuts, and you don't know that, and you think that it's going to shut off because it goes right to this, and then there's one wire that's going somewhere else, and it's
a lot of time code changes, and there's a reason it changes. It gets updated for safer and those kind of things.
I just that's on me. I just always thought, well, if the breaker's off and there's no power, I'm good to go. And well,
yeah, Eric, I wouldn't tell anybody that.
Oh goodness! I'm trying to upload a picture because I'm trying to upload a picture. I got something I want to show everybody.
Yeah, it was nice to take 4 boxes out of here today. Stuff that I got listed this morning. Trying to work on this whole building, man. I'm trying to get this building to where list everything in here. So I see a couple more things I listed. Yeah. Hey, Chris, here I found the perfect clock for you.
Oh, you found a clock?
Either midnight snack or happy hour.
That's Leroy. That's Leroy's clock.
Yeah, that's Leroy's clock right there.
And this is one of those that's it's just Ray Dunn or artesian, but I'm the only one on eBay that's got this one. I can only find a couple of them on all of the internet. It's pretty.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna make one for Leroy, and on like every one of them, it just says "time to eat, time to eat, time to eat, time to eat, time to eat."
What are you gonna list that for, Scott?
I think I put somebody had sold one that they called rare. They got like $75 plus shipping for it, so that's where I put it at. I run a lot of sales, so it'll go on sale. Maybe somebody else.
Yeah, market will tell you what it's supposed to sell for. What about the chat?
Yeah, but
how's everybody sales in there? Chime in. Let us know how your sales have been.
We know Eric's having good sales because he called and complained.
Yeah, he called and complained. Got good sales.
I got a good mind in the morning just to do a complete nuclear reset on the whole dang store tomorrow.
Oh my God! Look at this.
Yeah, I know. We already.
Holy cow!
Hey, it happens, Eric.
Man, not to everybody.
Not to everybody, but more frequently than it used to.
Eric, does that mean you like dating manly women? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh man, I got. Okay.
Yeah, I just tested that. Always ask. So I go to a couple of the same estate sale companies, and I'm one of the. Okay, a lot more people buy electronics now, but I've been going to the same one, and so the lady who owns it knows what I buy. And so she put the tape on that, but she didn't write the price on it. So I'm like, "Yo, MJ, how much is this thing? This VCR?" She said, she looked at it, $5. That's a Sony dual player. She sold me for $5. Tested out work. It tested out working. So it's not the recorder. It's just a regular. It's a 360. But and she also there's a radio on the other side. I can't get the 8-track to work, but she marked that one for $3. She's like, "What in the world is that?" I'm like, "It's an old 8-track radio, $3."
Dump truck. Hello, how are you? We get new people coming in now in the chat that we ain't seen before.
I got a notification on eBay. Let's see if it's good or bad.
So,
Oh dang! We talked it up. I sold something. I just took it to the building. Dang it!
but that ain't bad though.
No. It's a Jack LaLanne juicer.
Right.
Did you sell the whole thing or you part out? I got one that's sitting over here for 3 years.
It's the base. I listed it parts today. It's the base.
You list everything. Is there something you don't list on it, or?
Dude, if I'll tear it apart to list it. So like yesterday, I bought a thrift store had the big carpet shampoo vacuums, and if folks don't miss some of these things, Beard, I don't want to ship these things. They've got 2 tanks on them, a clean tank and a dirty tank. Those tanks are worth $40 shipped. You got $80 in tanks sitting there. And if you're brave enough like me, that pump in that thing is $44. I'm going to get that pump out of there. If it's on Beard, I don't know how to take them apart. Google how do you take them apart. Somebody's made a video, folks. This is not difficult. So I'm gonna get the switches out because the on and off switch will be worth something, and the pump will be worth something. The 2 tanks are worth something, and probably the handle. So I sold a vacuum cleaner. It was $15. It was half price because they had it 30 last weekend. I sold the 2 hoses. It has the down hose and the other hose. I sold the nozzle, that power nozzle, and I sold the base. I could have sold the whole thing for like $110. I sold all the parts for $300.
Yes, is it Auric? Auric is a vacuum, right?
Yeah, this one was a Miele, Miele, Miele.
I had an Auric, and it was a stand-up one, and I'm like, I don't want to ship this thing, so I took the head and all the wire, didn't clip anything, took all the wires, the head, sold just the head for $89. So the bag for 30. So the hoses for like 15 a piece.
Hey, dude, that if you don't miss Miele, that the 2 hoses, the stainless steel hose was one of those that kind of telescoping.
Yep.
157 shipped for them 2 hoses.
Really?
Yeah.
What I also do is this time of year,
one person bought them both.
One of my flea markets is like a farm flea market, like it's up in the country.
Right.
And lawnmowers in the next couple of months will be like $15.
Yeah, because I don't want to keep them all winter.
Yeah, I'll get 1 or 2 of them. I don't get a lot of them, but I'll get 1 or 2 of them. Like you said, I'll break it down to like 10 listings. I'll sell the motor where I can fit it in one of these gray totes. I'll put the motor in one of the gray totes. Sell the motor for anywhere between 100 and 100. Yep.
Dude, how do you ship that?
Somebody sold me this for $2.
Yeah, you take it apart.
You take it apart.
You take it apart.
This handle thing is worth $40, Chris.
Yes.
Just the handle. Look at it. It's just 5 screws.
Like Scott said, guys,
Golly.
it's not. If you're not brave enough to just take it apart, look on. There's always somebody taking videos.
He said this thing comes off. It screws and doesn't stay on, and I don't want to buy another battery for it. I'm like, okay, what you want for it? $2.
Yeah. That's a steal.
So it's a steal. The housing right here is worth money.
Yeah. So you're going to take that thing apart, Scott, and just part it out?
Oh yeah.
It will take him 20 minutes to take that apart.
You don't take no. Yeah, all the screws are right there. You can see them all.
Golly. Hey, don't leave yet, Leroy. I want. Hold on a minute, Leroy. Come back.
I gotta go downstairs.
I want to do something real quick.
Somebody sold me this one for $5. Hey, Leroy, you like this name on this one for $5?
That's a Husqvarna. Holy cow!
I got this one for $5.
And here's the thing, guys. So see that bar that he has in the middle? Now you don't normally want to. If you take the heads off, and then you're just shipping that bar like you're almost shipping a golf club, those bars sell like crazy because people run them over with their car.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I got 2 of these. I got $7 in them between them. There's probably a couple $100 in parts.
All right, real quick. I want to do something real quick. So we had I thought I was going to be able to do this pretty simple and fast. We had a passing in the family this week. Pets are family, guys. So,
absolutely.
Yesterday we had to put our English bulldog to sleep. So I just want to do this real quick for her and just give her a moment of silence. She was 10 years old, so she lived 2 years past her life expectancy. She just got cancer, and 3 weeks ago, a big lump showed up, and then Tuesday, I think it was, the breathing got really, really bad. So when I got in Tuesday night, I just told Tammy, I said, it's time, so.
Yeah, I was kind of missing. I played around on your show a little bit last week, but that was because Phoebe was in my lap. I was on my phone, and my little 4-year-old dachshund tweaked her back, and we were terrified because she had weakness in her back leg and can hardly walk, and she's the one that's wild. She's a wild child, and for 3 days she was down, 3 to 4 days, and good thing Joni's got all that back medicine, so gave her some whatever that stuff is she takes.
Yeah.
Because we've had the dachshund that had a bad back, so we knew what to do. Crate rest. Well, she won't stay in a crate, so that meant daddy rest. She laid on me for like 4 days straight. But, yeah, I know how, man. It breaks your heart. We've got a 17-year-old right now that we know the time is.
Yeah.
Jody's like, is she gonna make it to 18? Because she turns 18 and I think first week of February. We're like, I don't.
Wow.
Can't see, can't hear, skinny as a rail.
Yeah, English bulldogs. We were blessed to have her as long as we had. The last one we had, 8 years was the last one, and
oh, he gone.
Well,
so. But anyway, I hate to put a damper on it, but I just wanted to do that real quick for her, and so we can go back to talking about those were electric weed eaters, right?
Yeah. So yeah, dachshunds last 13 to 15 years. So we've had 3 that have made it at least that long.
We got a Chihuahua that I think's gonna outlive us.
I want a Great Dane, and they only last like 8 years.
Yeah, big dogs just don't last. They don't live as long. So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but there's man, for people that say they can't find inventory, it's your imagination. You got to figure out how to sell it. The whole key is stuff is there. Figure out, your job is to figure out how to sell it.
Yeah. Brad, you all were quiet tonight. Did Dolphins hurt your feelings this weekend or something? I mean, what?
No, they're still in it, bro. I'm just tired.
Well,
dude, the Dolphins. Let's talk about the Dolphins.
Well,
y'all won this weekend. They won this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe it was Saturday. Did you get your feelings hurt Saturday then?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I told you I'm not necessarily a Tennessee fan. I really don't have a college team.
I tried to pull for Tennessee, and I disliked them so much I couldn't do it.
I don't know what they're going to do, man, about the SEC. I can't figure it out. If Texas A&M beats Texas, I don't know what's going to happen, Scott.
I can tell you the best team in the world will be playing in Texas A&M.
Well, ain't nobody gonna get ripped off this year because if you lost 2 and you don't get in, that's on you.
Yeah.
And any other year, you wouldn't have had a shot at it anyway.
Yeah.
So the way that the tiebreakers are breaking, Chris, if either one, Texas or A&M, we play them. There's only one thing that can keep us from being the one that plays them is if Missouri loses their last 2 games. They got to win at least one of them. One of them's against Mississippi State, because the 5th tiebreaker, which applies to all the teams, is conference opponents winning record or conference opponents record.
Right.
And I think our opponents are like at a 0.5. if as long as Missouri wins one of them, it's mathematically we have to go. We'll be
Well,
the
at
second.
this point, really at this point, if you're in the SEC, you don't want to play in that SEC championship game because the loser will more than likely be out because they will have 3 losses.
Yeah,
That's a loser,
and
that's a
see,
loser mentality. That's a loser
Dude.
mentality. That's why Georgia sucks.
That's
We want to go. We want to kick ass and own the SEC, and then step right into the championship.
see, that's an inherent flaw. Like, and I
They
got a
said
question.
they
I got a question about that in a minute. But 2 teams are going to go to the SEC championship while the rest of the SEC stays at home, and so like they're going to play that game. Winners most likely for sure in the bowl in the playoffs.
The winners in the bye, just the
Loser's
bye.
going to be out, and whoever else is in the SEC that's going in is going to get there because they didn't have to play that extra game.
No, so they claimed that they said before the season that they were not going to punish any of the losers of the championship games because they realized they're dealing with the second place team that nobody else has to play that game. So they've claimed they're not going to, whether they'll hold their word or not. The worst thing you can do is go to the championship game, lose, still get in, and then have to play the next week. If you're like Chris says, if you're the last one to not make the SEC championship, you still get in. You get the week of the championship game off. But if you win the championship game, you get a week off. So the only one that doesn't get a week off is that one that loses the SEC or whatever. It could be the Big Ten. It could be whichever.
Then I got another question. Because I don't really pay attention to college ball, but they did away with East and West in the SEC, right? They don't have it. So how are they doing their SEC championships? Is it just
that's why
it's the top 2 records. It's the top 2 records, and you got A&M and Texas both have 1 loss.
Yeah.
So the winner of that game is in because they're only going to have 1 loss, and then the next one would be record of common opponents. Everybody didn't play everybody, so they throw that one out. There's another one, and that it didn't work because they don't play it there. And so you get down to the next tiebreaker is the conference team, your conference team opponent's record. And so it'd be all the teams you played, their record. So like
Alabama would have the best one out of that, I think.
Alabama would have the yes.
Wait a minute.
Would have the,
Alabama
then
didn't play on this. Alabama didn't play on this, did they?
My previous scenario won't even matter then. So the 2 teams that are going to play in the SEC championship are 1-loss teams.
One of the Texas teams will be a 1-loss championship. No, but has A&M got 1 loss or 2 losses?
They got 1 loss. A&M's got 1 loss.
They lost that opening game and haven't lost again, right?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay. Texas.
Everybody else, Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama, has all got 2 losses, right?
Everybody else except right.
So, like, is this a reseller show or y'all talking about?
Well, we got to know which gear to buy to sell, in January. What's that dude that said, I don't give a spit about nothing but Alabama or something
Texas
like that?
A&M has 2 losses.
I don't give a piss about nothing but the Texas.
That's what it was. Oh, I don't give a piss about nothing but the Dolphins.
The only team in the SEC
with 1 loss is Texas.
Is with a conference. So the only team overall with 1 loss is Texas, but Texas A&M and Texas both have 1 loss in the SEC.
Right. That's what it is. They've got an out of conference loss.
You see, right now when you look at the rankings in the SEC, it's Texas, Texas A&M, then Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama. So by this, if you look at this, what I'm looking at on ESPN right now, it's showing that Georgia would be the second team, depending on the loss of who loses this game, this Texas and Texas A&M game.
Keep believing that. If Missouri wins one, Bama's in. I'm telling you, Bama wins out, and Missouri wins one of the last 2 games. Bama's in.
Well, I think Georgia's done with the SEC because I think we play UMass this weekend, then we got Georgia Tech the next weekend. I think that's it.
Yeah, we've got Oklahoma at Oklahoma, then Auburn comes the.
I hope y'all whoop the mess out of Oklahoma and Oklahoma.
Since we're still in sports,
See,
Yeah.
see, Josh is right. We want the SEC title on our way to winning another natty. We want them both. So, have you heard the craziness that's coming out of Tuscaloosa now? So, a couple of games ago, people noticed one of our 5-star linebackers didn't travel with the team to LSU, and they're like, "Where's Keon Coates or that guy's name?" And then right after that, they announced he's suspended. Well, they're reporting today that he was trying to date the coach's daughter.
Leroy, what was you going to say?
Who do you guys think is going to get Heisman?
The Miami guy.
No, it's what's his name on Colorado?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Travis Hunter, man.
Travis Hunter or Shedeur Sanders?
Travis
Travis
Hunter.
Hunter.
Travis Hunter. Yeah.
Travis. Yeah.
Hey, Colorado's got a good shot of making the playoffs too.
If they should be in the Big 12, Big 8, Big whatever the hell that was. But yeah, Travis Hunter. Can you imagine how much does he play? He plays 80% of the snaps. I mean, total snaps, not just one side.
80% of the game.
The game. It's amazing. The stamina that dude plays with. Absolutely, it's because you think. Just think about. He's like a soccer player. Just think about running routes. How much you run, even if you're not in the play. Same thing with being a defensive back. You've still got to run every single play.
And he gets the interception. I mean, and the kids. I mean, Colorado is sort of a team I picked up. So, but
Brad, do I need to bring a pillow over there for you, man?
For me?
No, for Brad. He's over there just yawning.
But you're gonna see how good Dion really is next year when he loses his three main guys, because he's losing both of his sons, and he's losing Travis.
There's talk of him going to somebody's trying to campaign for him to go to the Cowboys.
He ain't going nowhere.
I don't think so either, but
No.
What's the backpack song?
The Dora song.
The what?
only
It's right
Dora
here.
sang.
Do you have the backpack song? I'm lost here. Tactical's playing with me, I guess. I don't know. What is he saying?
Yeah, Jaber, because everybody didn't play each other, the head-to-head's kind of hard, because it'd be different if you had two teams, the head-to-head would go right, but because you've got 5 2-loss teams is going to be. I said the one that I think is out. I think if Texas loses, they're out. If if they don't beat A&M, that means they've played 2 teams that were ranked teams. They have lost to both of them.
Do you know Tuesday night? Do you know what ESPN said about Texas? They said their best win was against Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt, that's correct.
And I'm like, wait a minute, their best win was against Vanderbilt? That don't even make sense.
Because the way these leagues are set up, you got like Indiana. Indiana's best win is Michigan, and it's a rating that Georgia didn't even play anybody that bad, I don't think.
Yeah.
Because Georgia's schedule, I mean, y'all have had an insane schedule, number 1 schedule in the nation. It's where y'all been to go on the road, what y'all played, it's been insane.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. And see, that's the one thing, we put the whooping on Texas, and Texas come in and you read all the social media stuff and them talking mess about Georgia and Alabama. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, the only team you play is Georgia. You let Texas play Ole Miss, you let them play Tennessee, you let them play Alabama, they're going to lose another 2 games there.
Dude, if I was Kirby Smart, I would tell Mike Bobo to run your quarterback up the middle until he hit somebody. Because once, man, he broke up to the middle, and to get that first down, he lowered his shoulder, and from that point forward, man, it was lights out. I'm like, send that dude up the middle till he hits somebody, get his head in his game.
Do something, yeah. I mean,
that one touchdown throw, what's his name? Showed it about 1 million times. I don't know how he even saw that. That's an amazing throw.
Amazing.
But
Brad, who you got on your hat now, man? I need to get you talking so you won't go to sleep there. You're gonna be hitting your forehead on your keyboard here in a minute.
That is the Nashville Sounds. They're a minor league team out of Nashville, and it's actually this is one of the things. So this is since this is a reseller show, but this is also sports. We'll talk both. One of the hats and memorabilia and stuff that usually sells pretty good for teams is minor league teams, or sells in sports is minor league teams more so than pro sports and stuff like that. So if you find a hat or something that has a logo or something you don't necessarily recognize, Google Lens that thing, and if it turns out to be a minor league team, sometimes you can get pretty good money for those. And look for the ones local to y'all. Like there's one particular thrift store in my area where they always have sound stuff. I mean, literally like every week I walk in there and they got, hats and shirts and stuff like that. And I can just pick them up every time I go in there. And if I wanted to, if they're good enough.
Yeah.
So,
y'all got me buying hats over there. I picked up 3 last week. I haven't listed them yet. Yeah. But the Huntsville's got the trash pandas, and that one, because people like the name. If you find it, it sells.
Yeah, I honestly thought the trash panda make it. Everybody's got their like reseller mascots and stuff. I thought somebody should do the trash panda. That'd be a great mascot.
Well, what didn't Rachel? What was that? The trash goblin, or what was that last?
Yeah, trash goblin. Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
That was cool. Yeah. Well, Leroy's got Mr. Sparky. Right, Leroy's got Mr. Sparky. Who do you got, Scott?
Just me. I guess I'm my own mascot.
Yeah, I ain't got one either.
He like when he clips his beard, he puts them in a little bag, sends them off to folks.
Clips them.
That's for those of y'all who don't know Huntsville, that's their little logo, a rocket with the trash panda.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that probably would sell pretty good just because of the name.
If you're in the Huntsville area, there's you'll find a plethora of that. Even in there, like I find it a lot of times, even like up in Lewisburg, I find a lot of trash panda stuff in Lewisburg when I'm out.
I ran into some the other day, but they were wanting $10 a hat. I'm like, y'all are on crack.
Here's the problem. So I live in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and they're getting a new minor league team. Right.
Oh.
Here's what they're building the stadium now downtown. Here's what they're naming the team: the Spartanburg. Hamburgers or something. The Spartanburgers, and the mascot is a hamburger. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
But look at though, you think something crazy like that. Look in South Georgia, the number 1 minor league team, those Bananas or whatever they are. They make more money. Are they the Savannah Bananas or something? I think that's what they are.
Yeah. I made good money off of a team called the I don't remember where they're from now, but I think it's like the Loons. It's like some kind of bird.
Yeah, it's a bird.
And I saw two hats. There was like, they were just kind of like is mirror hats, but they were just opposite colors. Like if one was red and black, the other one was black and red. And I did good. I sold both those hats for like $35 a piece.
You know what college team I sell the most of and I can't keep? Like within 30 days, it's gone. It'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. It's Coastal Carolina Chanticleers or
Chanticleers.
Chanticleers.
It's because they've been on the scene here lately. They've had a pretty good football team the last few years, and you've got to be there to get it. You're not going to go 30 miles away from that town and find that hat anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I find that stuff in Goodwills or thrift stores all the time, and I pick it up because it won't last 30 days in my store. It's gone. It's crazy to me.
Regional hockey teams. If you can find some like regional hockey team stuff, or I don't know if they call it minor league in hockey. I don't watch hockey either, but hockey stuff does well too. Not necessarily like NHL stuff, but lower tier stuff like Ice Wolves, stuff like that. You can find some cool stuff with that.
Yeah, I've never been to any of the Huntsville games. I've been to one. I'm sorry.
But what's the Huntsville team? Remember? I don't even remember.
Dan, if I remember. That's terrible.
Brad,
Yeah.
I got a bone to pick with you.
Sure, pick it.
So, are you going to sit there and brag about Kirk Cousins again?
I don't necessarily brag about Kirk Cousins. I told you shouldn't be so hard on Kirk Cousins.
I knew that. The Havoc. They've got a pretty cool logo.
Havoc.
The Hunt for Havoc. They've got a pretty cool logo.
That's cool.
It does. It sells well at the auction. We sell it at Van Massey.
Yeah, Teresa said they had the Sioux Falls Stampede for minor league. Yeah,
Sam Wiener Dog race jersey.
nice. Yeah.
But yeah, they benched him.
Did they bench him?
They benched him.
Why?
That's what I read this last week. They benched him. Well, they benched him in that game over this past weekend.
Did they start losing? I hadn't been paying attention to them. Did they start losing or something?
Yeah. They're 6-5 now.
Well, good on them. Did they play the? No, I don't
know
think
who
they
they
played
played
the Dolphins.
with. I read a thing today that said that they're going to bench him and put Penix in. So
okay,
we'll see what happens. You know how it is. Montgomery Biscuits. Look at that. Now, that sounds like a good team right there.
Is that a real team, Josh?
now I'm getting hungry.
Montgomery Biscuits. Hold on a minute. What did Teresa say? She said they do winter dog race for the Humane Society to raise money. So we're talking about actual Dachshunds, right?
Yeah, the hardest part, I've got one. Phoebe's not super fast, but Franklin, that is a fast. Except for in the house when he's running on the hardwood floors, he's the long hair and he slides all around the corners. But because Phoebe be running across the yard and Franklin catches up, passes her, and runs and waits for her. That's a fast little winter dog.
Have any of you seen chat too? Have any of you seen this YouTube channel of this dude who races these pigs? Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, he does it like a race broadcast, and he maps out a course, and then he has a whole season. He does a whole season of these pigs racing. It's funny, dude.
Uh-oh, Todd finally showed up. Well, Todd, you was late, Todd, so I mean.
That's what we said. That was for you, Todd.
Uh-oh. Oh, my goodness. So, other than reselling, Scott, what's been going on with you?
That's my whole life.
Yeah.
Other than that, and babysitting the dog to her back. That's the only thing I've done for the last couple of weeks.
So really drop us a good nugget in here. I got over 1,000 subscribers now, so we got a bunch of new people that like to watch us every so often.
I just told you electric weed eater parts.
Well, other than that, I
got a third one over there. I got so Cobalt is another. So that's, if you don't know tools, Cobalt is Lowe's brand.
Yeah.
So you don't need the battery. So I picked up the blower. They've got a 40-volt blower, and so the end will come off, and so I was able to get it in a decent sized box. It was like 20 by 16 by 12, and it went out. That blower without the battery, without anything, tool only was $72 shipped.
Wow.
I paid $5 for it. But the weed eater I bought had a battery in it, so I was able to test it before it left. But the tools always work. It's the battery power tools. It's always the battery. It's hardly ever the tool.
So you're telling me that the Lowe's brand Cobalt,
man, do not sleep on Cobalt. Their power tools are in demand.
What about the Home Depot Rigid?
I have not sold any of that, but just for some reason that Cobalt is really, really solid.
Is it just in power tools or the wrenches also?
I've sold.
Where's Leroy at?
They put them on clearance. I've sold them both. I've sold the hand tools. I've sold all of it. But yeah, the Cobalt weed eater is over there, guys. Folks, they'll give you a weed eater. Nobody wants to ship them. I don't want to ship them either, but I'm tearing it apart because it was like $4 with the battery. So and then 3 weeks later, I found the battery charger for $5.
So when I go to these yard sales now, I need to be picking up these electric weed eaters if they got a good name brand on them.
And so no, the nugget is, and the thing people need to understand is, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a weed eater, it could be the juicer, it could be these items have value. You got to figure out how to sell it. Your
Yeah.
job is to figure out how to sell it. It's do you know if Brad's got Playmobil stuff that's missing parts, is he gonna throw it away? No, he's gonna figure out another way to sell that thing, whether he's gonna source parts or he's gonna sell light color bricks or he's gonna sell it incomplete. He's gonna do you get like juicer. I didn't want to ship the juicers. You can find them quite often. But I looked at them like the base is worth like I sold that base for $27 shipped. The middle part is worth another 22. The pusher is worth 17. The blade on it is worth, I think it's worth like 16, and then the strainer is worth 15. All those add up. It's amazing the value of an item. I picked up what was it the other? I picked up something that for $5 I could sell it for 40, but the parts are worth $240.
Golly.
Can't remember what it was or what I was messing with. Probably a coffee maker.
Yeah, I sold. There's a good friend of mine that's normally on the show. Apparently, he had something else he had to go do. He blessed me with a bunch of blenders, and I've been selling the bases. Here by themselves, and so I on the jars. I take the blades out of the jars, and even the lids on the jars. You know, the plastic jars don't really sell as good as the glass ones do. The glass ones.
I picked up an osterizer. You know that osterizer with that not a lot of parts on it, but that glass jar on that osterizer, just leaving it like it is, it's like $27 just for that. Yeah. Then you'll get another 10 or 15 for the base. Yep. Much easier to ship it.
Food steam sells good when parted out. Food steamers. I believe that's what she's trying to say.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, I know that now. Rice steamers. Hello, Wolfman. Rice steamers, rice cookers. I guess the little rice steamer. The things they sell real good for us. That we haven't parted them out though. We sell them whole, but they probably would part out pretty good. But
I found a juicer the other day. It was made by Acme. I'm like, and this thing was heavy and tough. It's like I'm like the same company that Coyote chases Roadrunner around with. That thing, I've sold 2 pieces off of it. I think I gave $8 for it. Wow. And I've sold $45 in parts on that stupid thing already, and I've got 6 more to go.
Yeah, them blades, them blades in the bottom of blenders, you can sell them anywhere from $15 to as high as $25, depending on what kind it is, on what brand it is. You know, that's crazy.
So Eric, that comment, folks, if you don't learn anything, new items you can part out. You don't have to do used items, folks. It's
where did he say that? I seen that a minute ago. Right here.
Tactical Z. Yeah. So now I'm gonna have to go and look at all the $90 items at Costco to see what it is.
Yeah, honestly, so like, I don't know how much you guys pay attention to or know about like Lego stuff, but there's a couple different sites that sell Lego, like Bricklink, and I can't think of what the other one is. But people that do that exclusively, like they'll actually go and buy new sets at Walmart or Target or wherever. Like there's some are better than others because of the parts that are in them, and and they'll just go buy them like that, and it's super easy to list because you just basically scan that one, put it in, tell it you want to list all the parts and hit, and it's in your inventory, and then you just gotta sort it out. Of course, it's tedious with all the individual pieces, but there are people who do that. So.
But that's the whole key to reselling is don't tell me you can't find something. Tell me how you're going to sell what you find, what's available. It's a different mindset, and most people never leave clothing to figure out there's other stuff to sell.
I'll tell you what. Speaking about clothing, there's a few clothing sellers that I watch on a pretty regular basis. One thing that is really nice about the clothing thing is they've got one size package basically that they buy, And when they sell, it's just everything they sell is just in that one package. And that's economy of motion right there, bro. That's nice.
That's what
What'd you
just
sell?
showed a while ago was a pair of Wrangler jeans. Them 47, so the 47 MWZs and the 13 MWZs, I picked them up for like $1.50 each. Selling them like hotcakes for right around $18 plus $9.99 shipping. Brad, wake up.
You put me to sleep, Chris.
Paul, you brought up clothing, so I thought.
No, I didn't bring up clothing. Scott brought up clothing. I comment
Oh.
on clothing, and then that gave you the green light to talk about clothing.
Well, I just thought I would share my first sale of the day with everybody.
Nice.
You have to come up with a sound for that.
So I sell some clothing. I picked up a bunch of ties the last time I went to the thrift store, and I listed 8 or 9 of them and have sold, I think, 5 of them this week. So
What kind were they?
they were actually, it's not like a super, high name brand, but it's Ted Baker, London ties. And, but they were all like really, really cool looking. They were like, really bright colored, like plaids.
Were they
and
the
tartan checks.
Trump signature series ones?
It's a little old lady in line to me asked Brad if he would check her balance, so he pushed her over. That's right.
Were they the Trump signature series ties?
Oh, I did find one of those actually too. I hadn't. I'm gonna have to. I didn't list it. I didn't list it because it needs to be ironed. It's kind of wrinkled up. But whoever owned it just tossed it away, Chris, because they just.
That'd be all right.
But
It's probably got some liberal tears on it.
Yeah, I found a couple different. This is probably the 4th Trump tie I found.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what ties sell really, really good if you ever find them. They're getting rare. They're getting harder to find, but Rush Limbaugh. If you find Rush Limbaugh ties, those things sell really good.
Yeah, he's been gone a few years now.
Yeah. So look for those. Those things are, and they're usually pretty easy to spot. They're pretty bright, and then they always have the little gold chain on the back and stuff. So those
I can't spot them. I don't look for them, so I never spot them.
Yeah. So it's like ties is something that I used to do, and then here a while back I thought, well, I'm gonna, things are at the Goodwills and stuff are just getting harder to find stuff. Like it's just it's like the prices have gone up, and then there's more competition. So I was like, well, I know a little bit about ties, so I'll jump back in and look at that. And
it's not just Goodwills, Brad. It's not just Goodwills. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Speaking of prices going up, I want to tell a story here. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put them on blast. TC, if you still here, you can tell everybody the name of the place. I don't remember the name of it, but there is a local thrift store in my town that does half price on clothing every Friday. Okay, this last Friday, we went and I got a bunch of stuff. I probably had about 35 pieces of clothing. And the lady she says, you must be a reseller. And of course, me being, okay with it, I'm like, yeah, I give her my card. It's got Buck Mountain Barn, a YouTube channel on it, so she can watch the YouTube channel and all that and go visit my store, eBay store and everything. And she says, the boss of our stores, now keep in mind, there's 3 stores in my local area of this same type of store it is. Wilderness Way, I think is what it's called. And she says, the boss says that he's going to cut out half price Friday because only resellers come in on Friday and we're losing money. And I'm like, the stuff is donated to you. It's free. How are you losing money? So they're going to cut out half price. And I told her, I says, well, you can cut half price out, but when you do that, you're going to lose a lot of business. You're going to definitely lose money because you ain't going to sell what you got, because 90% of your people here is resellers to your own admission, so that's kind of things we run into with the thrift stores around here. They don't like resellers.
They'll get over it because the problem they're going to have is, and what's the hardest thing for them to get rid of? A bunch of clothes. So they're going to, they'll change their minds pretty quick, because once you can't know where to put new merchandise, what are you going to?
Yeah. I mean, they get the stuff for free. How are you losing money on free stuff?
you know, because I was talking to the manager of one of the 3 that I go to. They're the same chain here in town, and he's like, I'm like, man, I appreciate you give out great deals. I find something nearly every time. He's like, I need you to buy something every time because if you don't take this stuff here, I can't bring it out of the back. We don't have room. If he said, I'm not building a museum. Stuff's got to go.
And right, so he gets it. He gets it, you know.
But they all get it because the one in the middle one in town, he gets the most donations. They actually they get so much they have to send donations to the other 2.
Wow.
Man, the pricing is very aggressive. Like yesterday, I bought a set of shelves. I think it's a 5 set of shelves. The guy goes, he was helping me carry to the car. I guess he's feeling sorry because I was old. Those shelves are heavy, by the way, as a unit. He's like, yeah, those were upstairs. We're just getting rid of all the shelving units upstairs. He says, so they'll go right back together. $10. You know how expensive shelves are? A shelving unit for $10, and it was senior day, so I got 25% off. So it was $7.50 for a set of shelves.
Yeah, yeah. See, I don't think resellers understand grind. Hello, Kevin.
By the way, I got a report back to Kevin on something that I found out, but go ahead.
That's that Kevin nobody likes.
Oh, is that the one nobody likes?
Yeah, so doing the live show, man. I don't know where John came up with this, but Kevin came in on the live show yesterday and said hello, was talking to people in the chat, and John said, Kevin, which one? Is that the Kevin we don't like? I mean, John doesn't know Commonwealth from a hole in the wall.
Yeah. All right. So here it is. So Commonwealth, or Kevin dropped in the chat a few weeks back, and we were talking something come up about shipping and about how when the packages go through the post office, that or through the hubs, they're getting scanned, and sometimes they kick them back. So I asked I had a package that I accidentally shipped in a priority box. I forgot to change it when I did my bulk shipping over to Grounded, from Ground Advantage over to priority, and it actually came back. So every so often one gets through, I made a mistake. But the lady at the post office, so I asked her, I said, why did it get all the way to the destination before it got sent back? And she said that it's arbitrary. She said that it's up to each individual post office if they want to do it or not. So, like if for example, if you use the inside dimensions that are printed on the box and you actually should have, rounded it up, it's arbitrary. It's so if you run into the postal worker that wants to make it an issue, they can. And they said that most of the time they just push them through unless it's like really egregious. So there you go. And then if like even with mine was just an honest mistake. I'd done like a whole bunch of bulk shipping, and I just forgot to toggle it over to priority and didn't notice it whenever I put the label on. She said if it had been there, they would have just pushed it on through. They would have just delivered it. But for whatever reason, she said there's like they don't have like a hard and fast rule. Actually, I mean they know what they are, they know, but it's just arbitrary.
So if you get a jerk,
JP, I'll tell you when that's a bad idea. So JP says it never tells them as a reseller. He don't want their attitude or doesn't have to give it attitude. I'm telling you. So the guy I was talking to, the one I was talking about, the one who wants to move it. I asked him, I'm like, dude, so something comes in because a lot it'll say tested on it. What do you do with stuff that's not tested? I mean, it doesn't work. It doesn't power. Say it doesn't power on. He goes, we throw it away. I'm like, throw it away. I'm like, can you make me a pile? I'd love to have the kitchen one, the stuff that if it doesn't power on, it doesn't matter to me. If it's a blender, I'll do something with the blender. You know what I mean? If it's a coffee maker, I'll sell the pot. And so he's actually been keeping stuff back. So when I run into him about twice a week, he'll go pull around to the back. He's like, I'm like, I gotta pay you something. He's like, how about $1 each, whatever. He's like, how many guys? I think I got like 7 pieces. So certain people you need to tell because it's to your advantage to I'm in the same thrift store the other day and I'm like, can't find an extension cord to test out what was I trying to test? It was something that it might have been a weed eater. It was something that had a round plug that you had to have an extension that fits into it because it was that hard plastic. And I'm like, yo, Gary, you got an extension cord somewhere? He went and got one out of his office. I mean, folks, they will, if they know that you're going to be there, they can depend on you to buy stuff. They will, you will get treated different. And I don't get any pricing advantages or anything, but to keep broken parts. So because I like to sell parts now. So if getting a constant supply of inventory that.
Oh yeah, you make a good point because back when I first started Whatnot, I started in the VHS category. That's where I was brought in at, and I had a thrift store. The thrift store was maybe 30 minutes down the road, and I went in there one day, and the whole purpose was going in there looking for VHS to be able to sell and Whatnot. And I asked her, I said, "Do you ever get VHS?" And she says, "Yeah, but we just throw them away." I'm like, "What?" She says, "Yeah, we throw them in the dumpster." And I said, "Well, look, here's my number. If you get VHS in, please call me. I'll come pick them up." Once a month, that lady would call me, and I would fill the back end of my truck up with VHS, boxes and boxes. And I give her a $20 bill. She was just giving them to me, and I just give her a $20 bill and went on my way. And I turn around and sell them all on Whatnot. I mean, if you tell people you're a reseller at some of these thrift stores and get in good communications with them, like you were talking about, Scott, you can come across some really good. They will help you, especially with stuff that they don't want to fool with.
It's really hit or miss at yard sales. Yard sales are a little tougher because it's usually a one-time deal. But I've had people who say that they're going to do this or that, and they really, they'll call you. Do you have a card so we can call you? What's my favorite thing to read? I don't know that I have. Anything electronics, man. I love to mess around with electronics. Like most people don't want to mess with that BCR combo unit there.
Scott likes reselling Tux medicated discontinued pads.
Oh, my ass pads. Wolfman, you probably don't know the story. So this is I decided to drive the Corey's neck of the hood, which I didn't know who Corey was at the time. A few years back, Refresh PM, they were going to change from the plastic nozzle or the metal nozzle to plastic nozzle or something. And something happened and they couldn't get the plant to work. And one of the plants went down for an extended period. And so Refresh PM were $12 in the store. I was getting $250 a box for these things. And so the only place we knew that still had them was I can't think of that little store. It's like a baby Kmart. It was out of Minnesota. Somebody in the chat can tell me what it was. But they were all through Kansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, up into South Dakota. And so I just made a huge map of all these things because I knew my buddies, the Thrifton brothers, had done everything they had done everything from Minnesota to Missouri and straight up. And so in one of those stores, I was looking at the clearance aisle, and there was a box of ass pads. It was for anal seepage. So on the box it said for treatment of anal seepage. And they had a men's version and a women's version. The men's were on clearance because they were getting rid of the men's and they were going to make it unisex because that end, men and women are the same on that end. And dude, I was getting $55 a box for them ass pads because what man is going to go into a store and buy something for anal seepage? Not one that I know. It was Shopco. That's Corey. That's it. It was Shopco. Shopco baby. I called it a baby Kmart. It was before Shopco went out, and. Man, I picked up. There was one store in the middle of Kansas. I picked up 17 boxes of eye drops. I damn near cried. At $250 a box, there was 17 of them in one store, and they had ass pads. That was absolutely. But I went all the way to South Dakota. I went up. All the way. There was no bikers up there when I went up there, so I rode around there and came back. Worked my way back through Colorado, across into Kansas, but it was all the Shopcos on that side.
Brad, what's your favorite thing to sell?
Like I said in the chat, I guess I'm gonna have to go with Playmobil, but that's just because it's been so good to us. I'd have to think about what I actually enjoy selling the most.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I enjoy selling, and it's hard to ship, but I really enjoy it. It's combo units, VCRs. Receivers, stuff like that, because I can pick them up free and test them. And if they don't work, I can list them for parts repair. And if they do work, guess what? I'm making a lot of money. I like fooling with that stuff. I don't like shipping it. I tell you what, I like shipping. I don't like fooling with clothes, but I like shipping them. So you got to balance the two. I reckon. But
there's I don't have a category. It's just whatever the hot item is. I like that kind of a chase. I'll sell pretty much anything. There's nothing, not as long as it's legal, I'll sell it. There's nothing if there's money in it, I'll list it and sell it. But I prefer not to sell clothes because I'm the typical guy. I don't see stains, I don't see coals, and so I've never developed that eye to look so closely because I don't care that much about it. And so I started in clothes, but I was always a struggle because I'd bring something home and Jody go, "Didn't you see that damn stain? Now we're gonna have to work on getting that out." I'm like, "Oh, God."
That's where I see, like, if you did do whatnot or something, maybe that would be good to sell, where you can just point that stuff out on live.
Well, that's what my intention is. So I got all this clothing I'm buying now. So my intention is it's going to sit in the whatever lasts. If it's been in my store longer than 90 days, I'm having a whatnot show on day 91. From the time I started, day 91 hits, whatever's there that's on day 91, I'm having a whatnot show, and just get rid of it, because I don't want it to sit in my store that long.
I can tell you what makes me the happiest when it sells, and it's never like big things. So like I actually sold several this week. On the 127 a few years back, we did a buy of a whole, just her whole, everything she had that was Christmas stuff. But it was one of those, like, you have to take it all, right? At this price, you have to take it all. So we loaded it up and took it all. And we sold through the good stuff right away. But on the back end of it, I could get one here in a minute and show you. But on the back side of it, there was a whole bunch of stuff like we got our money back in a few days, but on the back end of that sale, there was a whole bunch of like Christmas bulb replacement lights, like in a little 10 pack of them, right? And we had a bunch of those, and every Christmas we sell some more out of those, and those are the ones that, like, it's not a big sale, it's just dinking and dunking on what's left out of that buy, but for some reason, it's those kinds of sales that when they come through, some multi-quantity thing of some small thing, it just makes my day when I see those things.
Well, Todd will send you some toothbrush holders if you want to try some more.
No, I don't want those.
Todd's got a bunch of toothbrush holders. Yeah.
Yeah. Key thing is he still has them.
But so JP, he says from football to Aspen, dude, you don't know how crazy it was. The Aspads, the YouTube, my audience was so crazy. There was somebody, and I still don't know whose day it was, who took the pad and put over one of my older logo faces and called himself the Bearded Ass Pad, and would come in the chat and carry on as the Bearded Ass Pad for several years. I mean,
that's crazy though. But yeah, it's amazing what you sell. Another place you can get new items at a cheap price and then sell it really good. It's that hemp rub stuff. You get it at Ollie's. You ever heard of the hemp rub? It comes in a bottle about
Chris
this big around, about that tall. It's called some kind of hemp rub or facial something.
Chris say, I love the hemp. I love it.
Yeah. But that stuff, you can get it for like $2 a bottle at Ollie's, and you can sell it from anywhere from $20 to $25 a bottle.
Todd, your neighbors are probably about ready to have you committed if you put all them toothbrush holders out in your front yard somewhere. You already tried smoking them out a couple years ago.
Kevin's got a commercial for Shop Commons in the comments there, Chris.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
He said you mean Commons. Shopcommons.net, people. Go shop, and don't forget to get your sticker at commonwealthpicker.com.
Yeah, guys, I have 2 auctions going live right now over there. And so I got a couple more listings over there. Go check them out on shopcommons.net.
I've got
Brad, what you got over there?
Hey, I got a listing up on Shop Comments. Actually, everything I put up on there sold pretty quick. This one's actually been on there for a little while. It was some wrestling figures. It's mostly of women wrestlers. But yeah, I mean, I added like 50 cents to them or whatever on top of what I bought them. They hadn't sold yet, so might have
Scott,
to take them off the list for
are you on
myself.
shopcommons.net?
Nah, Kevin said I wasn't good enough, so I'm not on there.
Oh, okay.
I sell way too many. I'm such an everything seller. I don't have enough of one item though.
Right. Well, what I listed yesterday, I listed some door pulls on there. And then I also listed a box of electronics that's got phones. And I know there's a Nikon Coolpix camera, digital camera in there. And then there's 3 or 4 cell phones in there, the old flip phones.
Yeah, digital cameras might be my favorite thing to sell. I love digital cameras.
And then the other stuff, and then some random other stuff. I put that in. I already got a $20 bid on one of them on that box there. So
You
let's
do
see.
free
I have
shipping
a
again?
Commonwealth hat. I would list it, but the dogs like playing. Man.
Yeah, I've got one of those too. It's got Dave and Corey signature on it. I can't even get the dogs to bite it. Franklin just takes it out back and uses it as a sex slave.
Yeah, and TC said he's just listed some video games over there also.
Nice.
TC, look, hey, I'm gonna put TC on blast here. TC has got a lot of Harley shirts, 15 of them. He said he's gonna put them on Commons. I'm waiting on him to do it, guys. If you like Harley shirts, he's got some nice vintage Harley shirts he's gonna put on Commons. He told me he was. So that'd be a good one, I think, to go over there.
I found a Harley polo at this new little thrift store we found, and it's very like, it looks like something that some frat kid would wear whose name like Tanner or something like that. It doesn't look like Harley stuff. It's like people that wear this shirt don't ride Harleys.
Really?
Yeah. You're talking about thrift stores. You're gonna have me have to drive over there to run through your stores.
He said you stay out of his area. You got too much down there where you're at.
I'll tell you, the best Goodwill that we go to is the Lewisburg one. So Shelbyville is pretty good sometimes.
You still shop at the Goodwill?
The one in Huntsville sucks. The 2 in Huntsville are terrible.
Yeah, I've done good at the one. What is it, Whiteside Drive, or on the far side of town over there?
Yeah,
I think I've Lily White Drive or something like that.
Yeah, they're just so expensive, man. They've got a laser printer. Last time I was in, they had a laser printer, and it's one of the bigger ones for like an office. They had this stupid thing for like $175. Nobody's buying a printer in the Goodwill for $175.
No. Not no printer. No.
Nice, Chad. That's the redneck version of the bidet.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not.
No,
you can buy them brand new for cheaper than that now.
My favorites there, and I've done well. Actually, I've done pretty good at all thrift stores there in Huntsville. But we hadn't been in a long time. I usually don't do too well at the Goodwills. The America's Thrift, one in Decatur, I usually do pretty good there.
That one's much better than the one in Huntsville. But they just opened a new one. Did you see that? There's a second American Thrift in Huntsville. Out in Madison. You know where that Walmart is in Madison on Old 72 or on Highway 20. It used to be. It's where the dirt cheap was. Same building. Dirt cheap is now America's Thrift.
So like going out towards that new Goodwill out there.
I've never been that new Goodwill.
Okay, yeah, it was only good on opening day. I just happened to stop in it on the day that it opened, and there was a bunch of good stuff. And every time I've been back since, is like, as a matter of fact, I just pass it up now most of the time.
But it's that old dirt cheap building. They went out, and then it was supposed to open the 18th, so it just opened this week. It opened Monday.
So we do pretty good. at the Saving Way on Winchester Road. Well, we used to. It's not as good as it doesn't. We don't do
Yeah.
very good there anymore.
Gary said stay away. He don't like that store. Gary said he don't need resellers.
For
I
real?
go there.
Are you
I go there.
are you spotting it up right now? Or are you being serious?
He's the one who saves me all the broken stuff. I go there every day.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. The
Good story, man. So if you talk to if I'm an introvert and I talk to people, so I told Gary, I'm like, Gary, you got a lot of nice people working here, man. I like the way you run the store. It's a little different than the other three, and he's like, dude, I appreciate this place. It saved my life. It gave me something when I was down and I was struggling with addiction. And he said, I'll be forever grateful for this place. And so I put my heart and soul into it. That thrift stores like the Saving Way here, are all for helping men beat addiction, and they're a lot. Just, I mean, everybody has resellers get a bad name, but us buying a lot of this stuff allows them to pour into missions and to pour into people that need the help.
yeah.
So it's just there's some good stories out of there. Hey, Gary's an outstanding guy. I really like him a lot. He tried to get me to buy that crazy Nordic track. I'm like, dude, this won't even fit in my truck. One of those big Nordic track skiers. I'm like, he's like, dude, I'll $50. I'll help you. We'll help you load it up. I'm like, dude, my truck is full. I'd have to take the camper shell off just to get that thing in there.
The most infuriating thrift store in Huntsville for me, like every time, is it Downtown Rescue Mission? Is that
Oh
what
my,
it's called?
they're on crack.
Yeah, man, that one. And then the one that I consistently do the best at is that Value Village over there in the ghetto off of
Their
231.
prices are on crack too.
Yeah, but you can find there's some stuff that slips through. There's a lot of stuff that'll slip through the cracks there, and you just I just tend to get lucky or whatever. At that one, I do pretty good at that one. The one thing that I kicked myself in the butt over to this day was at the Saving Way on Winchester Road, and this has been years ago. I found it was the NWO, the red version, the Wolfpack version of the NWO license plate. It was like a front license plate, and they had probably 25 of them. They had them priced at $1 a piece. I bought like 4 or 5 of them, maybe, but I couldn't find. There was no comps. There was no anything.
That's when you buy them all because you get something rare.
I know, and I should have, looking back now, I've kicked myself so many times because I sold those things easy and quick, and that's one of those. There's a few of those times where you pass something like that up, and I just want to kick myself in the butt crack every time I think about it.
Well,
Yeah, I need to get more out. I spend so much time here that I don't get out, and because supposedly Fayetteville's Goodwill is not bad. Because Jacob's got family that lives somewhere up other side of Lewisburg, and they make a big circle through. Yeah, Lewisburg's the one. It's in the shopping plaza. That's that big one, right? The bigger Goodwill.
It's not as big as Shelbyville's, but it's pretty big. Yeah. But I do good at Lewisburg. We've hit a lot of home runs at Fayetteville, but it's kind of hit or miss. It's like you'll go and just nothing and nothing and nothing, and then you'll just hit several home runs on the same day. It's just
don't go on Mondays because with everybody load in Van Massey, every reseller stops by there.
Yeah. Yeah, I have discovered there's certain days like at Lewisburg that just are consistently better, and so we kind of try to go to that one on that day now.
So I want to go ahead and tell everybody next week there will not be a show, Pickin and Grinnin show. I might do something during the week and on a morning or something like that. Brad wants to join us or anybody wants to join us, they can, but I'm not scheduling anything. The next week is Thanksgiving, right, Brad? Next Thursday. I had to call Brad earlier this week because I thought Thanksgiving was the day. And he's like, no, it's another.
Somebody was talking about it. This is the a shorter selling season between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like one of the later days I think that Thanksgiving can be, and so that makes that period between Black Friday and Christmas shorter this year than it has been recently. I think last year was one of the longer ones. It was like 5.5 weeks.
Well, I don't understand what's going on because I really ain't changed. I ain't changed anything of how I do my listings since the beginning of the summer, and I've done better. I've done better over the summer than I've done this fourth quarter.
Dude, I've sold two things today.
I just sold my first thing of the day a while ago, so I don't know. I mean, I'm not selling anything any different, I mean, I feel like I got some better stuff, to be quite honest with you. So I mean,
yeah. So I told y'all earlier we shipped out 40 items this morning, but the rest of the day has been like I've probably got after I got my orders packed, I've had let me look. I think maybe 2 sales.
Beardy got you, Kevin got you.
What it?
Yeah, Rachel.
I was trying to put in a password. I hadn't seen it.
So the last guest is better looking than Brad here.
Dude, I told him that right to start. I'm like, this is a damn disappointment.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Well, I guess
she was even very entertaining too. It's just terrible. Y'all are slumming whenever you send me a message.
Yeah. She's always fun to have on the show. She was officially our first guest on the show. And matter of fact, Scott, I think you followed her up then too. I think we had her and then you the next week or the week after or something. Because if I remember right, so we're just
playing second fiddle. Playing second fiddle to somebody.
Yeah. You got anything else? What, Brad?
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I will. No, I was just gonna say we're not going to see you next week, but happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and thank you so much for spending. You could do a lot of stuff on your Thursday nights or whenever you take the time to watch this, and so we appreciate it. And have a good Thanksgiving. God bless all of you.
Oh yeah. Scott, you got anything for this coming week, my man?
No, I've been trying to decide whether I'm just going to turn YouTube off for the rest of the year.
You don't have your show tomorrow night?
I'm thinking very seriously about just no YouTube for the rest of the year.
Oh, for real?
Well, I might put out my first video this week then.
You got to give some more oxygen for Kevin. He's on every platform about every 10 minutes.
Yeah. See, it's hard to do TikTok.
Every time I flip through TikTok, every third TikTok is Kevin's finding something at a yard sale. I'm like, damn, dude.
Wait a minute, is Kevin got a TikTok too?
Man, he's all over TikTok. He stalks me on TikTok.
Man, Kevin's on ABC, CBS, NBC, PBS, NPR.
That's why we can't get no watchers.
New York Times.
He's hogging them up because he's running shows all the time.
Wall Street Journal. He's on WAAY in Huntsville.
All right. Well, hey, everyone in the
He's
chat.
on WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh, I remember that one.
Hey, guys, this is the great time of year for that. The frozen turkey drop. That was so.
Yeah.
Dude, I only remember one thing from that show.
By. We appreciate everybody. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you on December 3rd. Oh, and we are having Chad, I Can Hustle All Day, and AZ from Arizona Pickers as guests on December 3rd. Be sure to come back then and check us out. Y'all have a great one. Happy holidays to you.